Whenever there's a Yoru on the enemy team, you always have to assume that there's the amount of people on the site plus one. What do I mean by that? Because there's a Yoru on the enemy team, pretend there's like a Yoru here. Because there's a Yoru on the enemy team, with the Yoru teleport, he can rotate instantly. So anywhere where you see two people, it's that plus one. Now, by some miracle, you ended up winning that round, which more power to you. You won the round, but that was like far too risky. And if the Yoru was any good, he insta rotates and he just obliterates you there. This is the same situation before, exact same situation as before. You see the Sova and the brimstone smokes are down. You know there's two on site, plus one because there's the Yoru, so there's three on site. Right now, you're pushing a site and you're asking to lose. And this time you don't have the result to back you up. So here's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to get numbers advantaged and you're going to lose the round. Watch. Yeah, look at this, look at this, look at this. You're lucky that your Gecko is actually goated with the sauce, because in any other scenario, he loses this round. In any other scenario, he loses this round. And the reason for that is you're willingly pushing into a stacked site. Have you ever wanted to see this? But instead, you're just stuck looking at this. Hi, my name is Berate. I'm a Radiant coach, and if you want to get coached absolutely free of charge, join my Discord server, read the VOD submission rules, submit a VOD for me to review, and I will get to it as soon as I can and turn it into a video giving you detailed notes along the way. Enjoy the video. Mistake number one here, something that you really got to keep in mind, specifically on Lotus, is you always want to be throwing this stair smoke off rip when you're going A. The reason for that is oftentimes a play that I see a lot of people doing, especially with like this new Lotus, is they'll have someone pushing out A, they'll have someone sit here holding stairs, and then they'll just have someone in tree. And that's like the normal A setup for A. You'll have a guy in tree, you'll have a guy playing aggro A main, and then you'll have a guy holding this angle playing to get one and get out. And this is a very powerful setup. The reason why you want to have three people on A the majority of the time is for this three-man setup here, where you have one person here, one person here, one person here. But the way to counter that is to throw this smoke off rip, because again, like, obviously you can obviously you can like not throw the smoke if they're not playing stairs, then in which case your smoke would be better off used somewhere else or situationally. But generally, as a rule of thumb, especially on pistol round where you don't really have any information, normally I would throw that smoke off rip just to block off this line, so that you can then go and easily take this space better without having to worry about getting a double swung from here. Now, it does look like they're playing pretty aggro here. So mistake number two that I'm noticing here, and this is just like a like macro mistake, I guess, but you shouldn't be going A in the first place. And the reason for that is 90% of the time, they're going to be playing very aggressive on A. And you can see that's exactly what happened. Like, they're just playing like super duper aggressive on A. And that's like 90% of the time what ends up happening, specifically on pistol round of like the first round. Teams will just like have three people either holding it down or just running it down A. So normally what I like to do is, especially since they don't have a hard senti, like if they had a Cypher or a Killjoy, this would be a completely different story, or even a Deadlock. But because they have a chamber, that means their C hold is going to be pretty weak. Because 90% of the time what the chamber is going to be doing is he's going to have his TP set up right here. He's going to go out here with his headhunter, try and get one and get out. But there's a very easy counter to that. You just have your Gecko flash up like this, knock the chamber off the angle, and then all of you guys rush C. And if they stack C, you just go B. It's just the entirely better plan here would be to either like hit this side of the map or to fake this side of the map and actually bring the bomb to the side of the map. Either way, you want to have the spike going to this half of the map because of the inherent advantage the defenders get by pushing this and getting this space extremely easily, because they can util dump this area of the map. Normally on pistol round, I just prefer to go C or B, but that's a macro mistake. The micro mistake here was you forgetting to smoke this, which will greatly help your push, but I don't think that really would have done much because the Yoru was going to play aggro here anyways. A play that I like to do on Lotus whenever I lose pistol round and my team hasn't forced deagles is whenever I do like going B. I do like just 5 men contacting B. That's good. However, the smoke that I throw is I actually throw a smoke out like this. And the reason for that is you can't really throw default smokes. You really can't. So say you had 2 smokes here, and it's even worse when you have 1 smoke. But say best case scenario, you have 2 smokes here. You throw a smoke right here, and you throw a smoke right here, but your effective range of the classics ends about right here. So if you're standing about right here, the effective range of your classic is like this area, right? Like anywhere in this area. But notice how the majority of the sight and the majority of the danger angles are actually outside of the effective range of your classic. So normally what I like to do is I like to throw a smoke out like this and then have my entire team sit inside of the smoke and then rush out. Because notice what happens is if you're right here and you're pushing out this side of the smoke, the effective range of your classics are now in this area and this area because you have this smoke dividing it for cover. Again, you could still get swung from CT, but you do have numbers advantage at this point. So if there's one person CT, you can easily just like run them down, right? So throwing default smokes here is, I get the idea behind it, but you could have played this way more optimally because remember, you're not planning on winning the round. You're planning on just playing for kills and dealing as much damage as you can in the round. And yeah, it's just, you know, again, you do some solid damage, but you could have definitely increased your damage potential by a lot by throwing like a really, really weird smoke like that. Like, you always want to be whipping out the weird strategies when you're at an economic disadvantage. It's something Wahujin has said time and time again. Okay, at this point, you've already seen... Okay, so Brimstone's smoke range is very, very, very small. So if Brimstone's standing right here, that's when he could like smoke main. Like his smoke radius is like this or something like that. Brimstone's smoke radius is like this, right? So it's very reasonable to assume that Brimstone is either like here or already in Waterfall. And then you already saw the Sova throw his shock darts like right here. However, at this point, there's already 2 on site, and it's very reasonable to assume that they're rotating. So here I would have just taken door and gone B. I hope that you rotate here, because pushing the site here is kind of just a death trap, especially because they have a Yoru. Especially because they have a Yoru that can just instantly rotate, and yeah, and then you should lose the round, right? By some miracle of God, you win the round. But something you have to realize is whenever there's a Yoru on the enemy team, you always have to assume that there's the amount of people on the site plus 1. What do I mean by that? So it's already very, very well established that there's 2 people on C right now. Brimstone's close, and Sova, we saw him C main at the start of the round. But because there's a Yoru on the enemy team, pretend there's like a Yoru here. Because there's a Yoru on the enemy team, with the Yoru teleport, he can rotate instantly. So anywhere where you see 2 people, it's that plus 1 because of the Yoru in any site that you're pushing. And pushing into C here, even with Razor, even though you committed the Razor, is kind of a death trap in my opinion. Like, you were kind of just asking to lose that round. Now, by some miracle, you ended up winning that round, which more power to you. You won the round, but that was like far too risky. And if the Yoru was any good, he insta rotates and he just obliterates you there. You do not have to push that. Okay. I know that you're in a clutch. And I know that while you're in a clutch, you're going to be taking any like help you can get from your teammates. Do you win the round? You do win the round. Okay. If the chamber had halved the bomb there, you insta lose. Very, very particular reason why. You listen to your teammate. Now, okay. I'm all for listening to your teammates when they're alive, right? Now, I am absolutely all for listening to your teammates' plans and just doing it without thinking when everyone is alive and you're mid-round strategizing. When you are in a clutch, listen to no one. Backseating or nothing. Quite literally, all you should listen to in a clutch is like information. I heard him on your left. You have smoke. You can ult. The whole Shazam I know situation. Listen to those comms. Don't listen to the backseats, because if the bomb was planted any sooner, if chamber would have halved the bomb or anything remotely similar to that, you would have instantly lost the round because you listened to this goober right here. This goober, this absolute moron on your team almost threw the round for you, and you listened to them. There's zero reason to push. Boom. You go here. You kill the diffuser. You hear him pick up a gun, mind you. He picks up a gun as well. So, you know he's not on the bomb. You don't hear a tap. You swing and get yourself insta-domed because your loud footsteps are going climpity-clompity. Over here, he knows you're swinging him. His crosshair placement was perfect. Notice how he didn't even have to flick or anything. He just heard your climpity-clompities going and swinging him, and he insta-domes you, as he should in that situation, because you listened to your idiot teammate. Moral of the story, do not listen to your teammates when you are in clutches. And if your teammate does give you an idea that sounds good, take a second and think about it. I just heard him pick up a gun. He's not on the spike. You really need to be paying attention. Again, you already won the round at that point. He did not have enough time to defuse the spike, but this is an issue. When you're under pressure, you're just immediately turning to your teammates to solve the problem for you. You need to be self-sufficient in that, right? This is the same situation before. Exact same situation as before. You see the Sova, and the brimstone smokes are down. You know that Sova is somewhere front side. He's probably bend right now. And we know, again, exact same issues before. You know there's 2 on site, plus 1 because there's the Yoru, so there's 3 on site. That means if you go B, B is weak, or that means that if you go B to A is weak. Or not B to A. Like take the door, go out this way, and go A. A is weak. Right now, you're pushing a site and you're asking to lose. And this time you don't have the result to back you up. So here's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to get numbers advantaged and you're going to lose the round. Watch. There's no universe where you win that round. Okay, I'm just going to chalk this up to this being low elo. But it's a 5 versus 4 and you're pushing into a stacked site right now. There is 0 universe where you should be able to win this round. 0 universe. Okay. Yeah, look at this, look at this, look at this. You're lucky that your Gecko is actually goated with the sauce, because in any other scenario, he loses this round. In any other scenario, he loses this round. And the reason for that is you're willingly pushing into a stacked site. Okay. The minigame with any 3-sided map, is you find out what the weak side is, and then you hit it. Simple as that. You find the weak site and then you hit it. They're giving you all of the information on what their strong side is. So you hit one of the weak sites. It's not rocket science. Take a listen to what you just heard. Take a listen to what you just heard. Chamber operator, that's 1. Smokes, that's 1 more. You heard the brimstone stim beacon right here. You heard the brimstone stim beacon going heaven. So that means that Chamber's rotating through this way and Brimstone's rotating through this way. You know that immediately because you heard Chamber pick up his trip right here. He's going this way, and you heard Brimstone stim himself to rotate over this way. That means that there's 3 on A. Same scenario as before, you rotate. Exact same scenario as before, you rotate here. And the fact that you're committing to A, even though you heard them rotate, is just, yeah. Good thing you lose that round. If you would have won that round, I would have chalked that up to Luilo again. Your problem on attack is you're hitting the strong sides. Like, you need to be calling. I'm not saying you need to full IGL the team. All you need to say is, hey, there's 3 here that let's rotate. I bet you anything, these goobers, unless they want to lose their elo, if they hear, oh, there's 3, let's rotate, they're gonna rotate, no problem. They're gonna rotate, no issue. So I'm gonna skip to defense here. I think your main problem on attack is the fact that you're hitting the wrong sites, my friends. You are not hitting the correct sites. You need to, you don't understand the theory of gathering information but then playing off of that information. Numbers advantage. Right now you chill. You swing again, you could have gotten killed right here. Boom. Your teammate dies. 4v4. What do? You chill there and wait for them to swing into you. 3v4. You still chill there and wait for them to swing into you. You swing into 2 people. You spam your ghost and you instantly die. Need I say more? This is your main problem. You do not have a understanding of numbers advantage, right? You don't understand how powerful numbers are in this game.
Hey you, if you made it to the end of the video, make sure to subscribe to Berate, or I will take your Valorant elo.